Hi everyone. So in my video I go over the infancy, cognitive and development. I'm gonna focus on Piget's cognitive development sensorimotor periods. I focus on 3 babies. The first baby, his name is Alec. He's 6 months. So Piget would have him in stage 3, which is secondary circular reactions. This emerge from the infant's their activities towards objects and events outside of themselves. The secondary circular reaction does produce results in the environment. Children or infants in this stage will focus on objects that are around their environment and see how and they would react to them. They would try to grab them. In this case we see little Alec trying to grab a stuffed tiger, and he just holds onto it. He's very aware of his surroundings. He's looking at the people. He's trying to interact with everyone. He is currently, we're putting toys around him. We want to see how he reacts to the toys, if he reaches out to them or not. He does notice that every time we put a new toy in front of him, he wants to grab it and he wants to play with it. And he does lose his attention a little fast, so he lets go of toys and then grabs another one. And of course, tries to put it in his mouth. I believe that's a phallic stage. We place him in a different situation, and so what we want to focus on here is seeing if he could track a toy that is being hidden from him. This is actually stage number 4, and it's meant to be for children that are from 8 to 12 months. I know this because Alec is my nephew, and he is a little bit further along in his physical development, so we wanted to try and see if he would go for this. As you can see, he didn't. At first he tracked the toy and he knew that he needed to get past that pillow, but he got distracted and stayed with the pillow. So he's not quite there yet, but he is moving far along into it. Little Judah, he's 3 months old, and we want to, because he's 3 months old, he is technically in Piget's stage 2, which is 1 to 4 months old. But I also want to touch into stage 1. In stage 1, children do little more than exercise and reflexes. They are physically just trying to recognize their own body parts as hands and their surroundings. As you can see, he is still very much in stage 1, where he wants to put his fist in his mouth. Anything that touches his mouth, he's gonna try to put it inside of that mouth. Children just love to put things that they grab or touch into their mouth, and it's very, very common and perfectly normal. So in this stage, I really wanted to test out his primary circular reactions, which is a stage 2, but this baby is actually very calm. He doesn't move too much, so it's really hard to test this stage for him, even though he is 3 months old. It tells us that he is still learning about his environment and is still very curious. Little Aurora has a little cameo here. That's my daughter, and she is only a month older, and you could see that she's trying to reach out for him, and she notices him more than he's not really paying attention to her. And then we see him playing with his toys. He really notices these toys and is trying to play with them, which is actually part of the primary circular reaction. He's noticing these toys and he's doing the same motions to try to see what kind of results he gets from that. And now we have little Aurora. She's 4 months old, my daughter. This is my wife with her. With her, we're gonna focus more on stage 2, more than we did with Judah, because she is further along. She's moving into stage 3, but she's not quite there yet, and so I'll explain more about this chubby little girl. Stage 2, Piget says that infants have an external goal. They don't really have an intent in their actions more than just self-exploration. So as you can see, she's able to lift her head up and with a 90-degree angle now, and she's just looking around. She's exploring. She's putting her face down, seeing what that does. She's putting her fist in her mouth. She loves putting her fist in her mouth. As you can see, she's very aware of her surroundings. We're starting to put toys around her. She's still in the prone position, and this is how we know that she's not quite at stage 3 yet, because she still would not reach out for that toy. We have to put her face up in a supine position so that we could get her to actually grab the toy. She notices the toy and she wants it, so she grabs it. The toy does not touch her mouth, therefore she is not putting it in her mouth. But if that toy were to graze her lips, she would try to start sucking on it. If you pay attention to her hands, you could see that she constantly clenches them and then opens them and then clenches her hands again. This is part of stage 2 that Piget speaks about. He says that they continue to do repeated motions because they are constantly trying to figure out different variations of their movement to see what kind of results they have. So overall, the 3 babies that I have on my video, one being Alligator, the oldest one, he is considered to be in stage 3 with the secondary circular reactions. He has more advanced cognitive development, and you could tell by the way that he interacts with the toys and the way he interacts with the people around him. And he's obviously a lot bigger and more strong, so he's able to like grab his feet, stand up, and just kind of roll around. Then we have little Judah, who's the youngest one at 3 months. You could tell that he is still in stage 1, kind of transitioning to stage 2 because he's starting to notice his surroundings a little bit better, the toys that he plays with, but he's not quite at like interacting with everything around him. He's still very curious and still likes to put everything in his mouth. And then we have Aurora, who is definitely in stage 2, and she's in process of becoming stage 3, according to Piget, because she's grabbing everything and she's very curious about her surroundings, but she's not quite there at like really interacting with them. She still chooses not to look at something. She still chooses not to like react to certain things. So she's not there yet, but she will be. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. I'm just kidding, but enjoy.